Hello everyone, welcome to Time online classes. Today in this session we will discuss basics of direction sense. Kindly be ready with your notebook and pen. Let's see the pattern of the question. In these questions we are given a path in which a person is traveled. So you will be given a path like Ravi started from his home, traveled 5 kilometers towards north, then took a left turn and traveled 7 kilometers and again traveled towards north for 10 kilometers and again took a right turn. This kind of information will be given. This kind of data will be given. Okay, that is nothing but the path in which a person is traveled. This data will be given. And in this data, the technical terms that you may come across is these terms: north, east, west, south, northeast, southeast, southwest, and left and right. This type of technical terms will be given in the data. So how the question will be given and how the technical terms will be given and what do you mean by those technical terms? What does the technical terms means? And what kind of questions will be given below that are important. So next we will discuss what kind of questions will be given. After that we will discuss what are all these technical terms in direction sense. Fine. Now after that information, just now we discussed, right, information regarding a person will be given, the path traveled by him. After that information, a question is asked which generally contains the following two parts. One is finding the distance, and the second one is finding the direction. So these are the two questions type that may ask. Okay, one is distance and other one is direction. Now again in finding distance we have certain question types. So let us see that. Finding the horizontal distance traveled by him. Find the horizontal distance traveled by him. Second one is find the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point. In both the cases it is horizontal distance, but the meaning of the questions are different. Okay, it is find the horizontal distance traveled by him. So in this case we need to find out the total horizontal distance traveled by him, and in this case we need to find out just the horizontal distance between the starting point and ending point. So when we solve one example you will get the clear idea. Okay, not to worry anything. Now the next one is find the vertical distance traveled by him. Find the vertical distance traveled by him. And the second question, as expected, find the vertical distance between starting point and ending point. Find the vertical distance between starting point and ending point. Now one more question regarding the distance that they ask. Find the total distance traveled by him. Find the total distance traveled by him. Don't worry, all this we are going to discuss in detail. Just please note down the question types. First one is find the horizontal distance traveled by him. Second one, find the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point. Make a correction, starting point and ending point. Find the vertical distance traveled by him. Find the vertical distance between starting point and ending point. Find the total distance traveled by him. Okay, now the next one is find the distance between starting point and ending point. Find the distance between starting point and ending point. So these are all the questions which are related to the distance. Now the one more question type is regarding the direction. Finding the direction. Now again here in finding the direction, again you will get two question types. One is find the find the direction of the starting point with respect to ending point, or find the direction of the ending point with respect to starting point. So these are the two question types. The direction which the final position is with respect to initial position or vice versa of that. Okay, so please note down the question types. The different question types will be given below the data, below the given information. In the information you will be given a path which traveled by the person. The path traveled by the person, and after the information you may find these two kinds of questions. One is regarding the distance, one more is regarding the direction. Among the distance, these are the 6 questions they may give. Among the direction, one of these two will be given. Find the horizontal distance traveled by him. Find the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point. vertical distance traveled by him, vertical distance between starting point and ending point, total distance traveled by him, distance between starting point and ending point, and find the direction. Now tell me what we have discussed so far. We have discussed nothing. Just we discussed the pattern of the question. What is the pattern of the question? You will be given information in which a path of a person will be given. So the path traveled by the person will be given. Like I discussed, Ravi started from a point, traveled 5 kilometers east, then took a left and traveled 5 kilometers, again took a right turn and traveled 7 kilometers, then traveled towards north. Like this kind of information will be given. After the information, you will be asked a question which may be related to a distance or which may be related to a direction. Among the distance, the question can be any of these. Among the direction, the question can be any of these two. Final position with respect to initial position or initial position with respect to final position. Fine. Now we'll discuss with the examples in detail. Then you will get the clear idea. Okay, don't worry. How to indicate directions on paper? With respect to one point, on a paper, right hand side will be towards east. Right hand side will be towards east, or upwards is towards north. Upwards is towards north direction. This is north. On a paper, with respect to a point, upwards is towards north and downwards is towards south. And downwards is towards south. And right hand side is towards east. Right hand side is towards east. West hand side is towards west. It is towards west. So these are the four basic directions that we have: north, east, west and south. These are the four basic directions. Fine. Now, and also in the questions, the technical term that you may come across is left side and right side while moving to a particular direction. Now let me discuss that point. While moving towards north, this side will be left hand side and this side will be right hand side. It means your left will be that person's left and your right will be that person's right. Okay, so while moving towards north, what is the left hand side direction will be west and right hand side direction is east. So this is left hand side and this is right hand side. So what is the left hand side direction? What is the left hand side direction? West, and the right hand side direction is east. Now, while the person moving towards south, this will be the left hand side, this will be the right hand side. It is quite opposite to your direction. Your left hand will be that person direction, your right hand will be that person's right hand side. I mean, your left hand will be that person's right hand side and your right hand side will be that person's left hand side. So that's why do not assume you are the person. Please think from the person point of view who is moving in that particular direction. Okay, we need to think from the person's point of view and the direction which he is moving, not from your point of view. So what is the left hand side will be east and right hand side will be west. Okay, left hand side is east, right hand side is west. For south, left hand side is east. For south, right hand side is west, while the person moving towards south. Now similarly, if the person is moving towards east, it means you are moving in this way. Then this will be your left hand side and this will be your right hand side. What is on your left hand side? North direction, and right hand side will be south direction. So you are moving in this way. So your left hand side will be north, your right hand side will be south. So left hand side and right hand side. So left hand side is north and right hand side is south when the person is moving towards east. Now while moving the person towards west, so the person is moving in this way. The person is moving towards west. When he is moving like this, this will be his left hand side and this will be his right hand side. Now left hand side will be towards which direction? It is showing towards southwards, downwards, and upwards is north. So while moving towards west, left hand side is south and right hand side is north. So left hand side is south and right hand side is north. So the direction which is between north and east is northeast. And the direction which is between south and east is southeast. It is a southeast. And then this will be what? Southwest. Southwest. And finally northwest. So it is northwest direction. So northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. North and east between direction is northeast. South and east between direction is southeast. South and west between the direction is southwest. This complete direction. This complete angle. Now west and north, this direction is northwest. Okay, so these are all the technical terms that we come across in a question in the data. North, east, west, south. While moving north and east, north, south, east, west, what is the left hand side and what is the right hand side? And the other technical terms that we may come across is northeast, southeast, northwest and southwest. So how are we going to indicate directions on paper? With respect to point, upwards is towards north, downwards is towards south. Right hand side will be east, west, left hand side will be west. While moving north, left hand side is west, right hand side is east. While moving towards east, right hand side is south, left hand side is north. While moving towards south, left hand side is east, right hand side is west. While moving towards west, left hand side is south, right hand side direction is north. Fine? Okay, please take a notes of this. And you please keep noting down parallelly. Don't wait for me to tell to copy this or take a screenshot of this. Completed noting? Okay. Now move to the examples. Okay. The two more important points. So vertical directions. What are vertical directions? North and south. These two are vertical directions. And the horizontal directions, east and west. Horizontal directions are east and west. Now, let us take one example. With the help of this example, we'll discuss all the 8 different question types that we discussed earlier. Okay. Find the total horizontal distance traveled by him, horizontal distance between starting point and ending point. Find the total vertical distance traveled by him, vertical distance between starting point and ending point. Find the total distance traveled by him, distance between the starting point and ending point. Starting point is in which direction with respect to ending point. Ending point is which direction with respect to starting point. All these 8 questions we'll discuss. But even before that, you should be thorough with how to draw the path. So let's see how to draw the path. On paper, right hand side will be towards east, left hand side will be towards west, upwards is towards north, and downwards is towards south. Don't forget these basic directions, right? So starting from house, Pawan, whose path is given? Pawan's path is given. Starting from his house, Pawan walks 10 meters towards north. Okay. Let us assume that it is a home. This is a home location. Now from this point, Pawan walks a distance of 10 meters towards north. North is nothing but upwards. So how much distance he traveled? 10 meters. In which direction? North direction. Okay. So 10 meters towards north. So 10 meters towards north. So let's say it is a point A. He reached point A. Okay. Let's just assume that it is a point A. Then he turns left. He is actually moving which direction? North direction. After reaching this point, he turned left. After reaching this point, he turned left. So what is the left hand side direction? While moving towards north, what is the left hand side direction is? West. So he traveled towards west. And how many kilometers? 8 meters. How many meters? 8 meters. So left and traveled 8 meters. So let's say it is a point B. It is a point B. Then walks 4 meters towards south. Now south is nothing but downwards. Now he is at B, point B. from here he is traveling downwards. How many meters? 4 meters. Now it is the distance of 10 meters. So we should maintain scaling. So 4 meters means it should be, this line should be below this line. So how many meters? 4 meters. Let's say it's the point C. Now he's at point C, and finally travel 16 meters towards east. East means towards right hand side, your right hand side. So he's this point. Now from this point he's moving towards east. On a paper, right hand side will be the east. So from this point 16 meters towards south. So if he reaches this point, how many meters? 8 meters. And more how many meters? It has to be total of 16. So more 8 meters. Let's say it is a final point. As it is given, it is a final point. It is a final point. How many more meters it is? 8. 8 plus 8, 16. Total 16 meters. So this is how we have to draw the path. Right. So starting from a house, Pawan traveled 8 kilometers towards north. 10 meters towards north. After that, he turns left. So he is traveling towards west and traveled 8 kilometers. Then walks 4 meters towards south. So from the point B, on a paper, downwards is towards north. So take the downwards C. And from the C, he is moving towards east. On a paper, east is towards right side of a point. So from point C, right hand side. So this is the right hand side. So how many meters? 16 meters. So this is the path. Right. Are you clear? Fine. So I'll give the clear picture of this diagram in the next slide. Okay. Okay. So take down. It is home. 10 meters traveled towards north, and then took a left turn and traveled 8 meters to reach B, and then traveled towards south 4 meters, and then traveled towards the final point, which is nothing but east side. How many meters? 16 meters. Home and office, which is nothing but final point. Okay. Now let's discuss all the question types. What is the first one? Find the horizontal distance traveled by him. Find the horizontal distance traveled by him. Simply, what are the horizontal directions? Earlier we discussed. What are the vertical directions? North and south. What are the horizontal directions? East and west. So forget about this vertical. So just talk about the east and west. So when they are asking to find the horizontal distance traveled by him, so we need to take some of the distance he traveled in the east and some of the distances he traveled in the west. So this will give you the answer of find the horizontal distance traveled by him. It means we need to find out total horizontal distance in whichever the way he is moving towards east and west. All those distances to be added. So how much he is traveling in the east here? 16. Okay. How much he is traveling in the west? 8. So 16 plus 8. So what will be my answer? 24. So 8 meters he traveled in this way and 16 meters he traveled in this way. So total how much he traveled? 24 meters. How much distance traveled by him? What is the horizontal distance traveled by him? 24 meters. Fine. Okay. Now the second one. Find the horizontal distance. Find the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point. So when they are asking for horizontal distance between starting point and ending point, which is nothing but net difference. They are asking us to find net difference of east and west. Earlier is sum, now here is a difference, net difference between east and west. So this is what mean for find the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point. Forget about the vertical directions. So this is how the path. Right. So 8 and how much it is? 16. So how much he traveled in the west? 8. How much he traveled in the east? 16. So how much he came back by? Just 8. So already 8 traveled. So he came back by 8 meters. Fine. So here is the starting point and here is the ending point. So what is the distance between them? Net vertical distance we need to take. That is east minus west. 16 and 8. So how many meters? 8 meters. So this is the difference between these two technical terms. Find the horizontal distance traveled by him. Find the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point. Okay. So east is 16 or west is 0. West is 8. So total difference is how much? 8 meters. So horizontal distance is nothing but, find the horizontal distance traveled by nothing but east and west. East plus west. Find the vertical distance between starting point and ending point is nothing but, we need to identify the net difference. Fine. Now let's see the third question. Find the vertical distance traveled by him. What are the vertical directions? What are the vertical directions? North and south. North and south. Now here also, have they asking for net vertical distance? No. So they are asking for vertical distance. So we need to add the total distance which he traveled in the north and the total distance which he traveled in the south. Sum of these two will give you the value of vertical distance traveled by him. Now in this path, how much he traveled in the north? 10 meters. He traveled 10 meters towards north. And how much he traveled in the south? 4 meters. So total distance traveled by him is how much? 14 meters. Vertical distance. Vertical distance traveled by him is how much? 14. 10 north, 4 south. So total 14. Now what is the second one in this one? Find the vertical distance between starting point and ending point. So between starting point and ending point they are asking, which is nothing but, they are asking for net difference. They are asking for net difference. We need to identify the net difference. Now, which is nothing but modulus of north distance and south distance difference. How much he traveled in the north? 10. How much he traveled in the south? 4. What is the net difference is? 6 meters. So this is how we are going to find out the values. Find the vertical distance means sum of the north and south distances. Here we need to take net difference between north direction and south direction. So traveled 10, but came back by how much? 4. So what is the net difference we have? Only 6 meters. That is this. If there's total 10 he traveled and 4 more he traveled. So total 14 he traveled. So what is the net difference is? 6. So are you clear? Fine. And please keep on noting. Now move to the next question. Find the total distance traveled by him. When they are asking for total distance traveled by him, simply add all the distances, that is 10 plus 8 plus 4 plus 16. 18 plus 4, 22 plus 16, 38 kilometers, 38 meters. So how much distance he traveled in total? 38 meters. How much he traveled? A total of 38 meters he traveled. Find the total distance traveled by him is nothing but 38 meters he traveled. Next, find the distance between the starting point and ending point. Find the distance between starting point and ending point. So again here we need to identify the net difference. But they did not mention vertical or horizontal. So net difference between starting point and ending point. How this type of questions to be solved means, whenever they ask, find the distance between the starting point and ending point, which is nothing but they are asking us to find the shortest distance. They are asking us to find the shortest distance, which is nothing but net difference. So how to find out the shortest distance? It is simple. By applying the Pythagoras theorem. By applying the Pythagoras theorem. What is that? AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Okay. So to find the shortest distance, we are going to apply this. Okay. Now, so when they are asking that find the distance between starting point and ending point means you should try to identify the shortest distance between starting point and ending point. What is starting point? Home. What is the ending point? Office. So we need to identify the distance between these 2 points. This is what the meaning of that question. Okay. Find the distance between starting point and ending point means, so total distance is 38 already we know. But still they are asking find the distance between the starting point and ending point means their intention is to ask the shortest distance between these two. So we need to identify the shortest distance. Now let's say this is a point X. So I need to identify which distance? HO distance, right? So HO is equal to, HO square is equal to, here it is forming a right angle triangle, right? Here it is forming a right angle triangle, so we no need to form it, right? So it is forming a right angle triangle. So HX square plus XO square. What is HO square? We need to find HX 10 square plus what is XO square? It is how much distance? 8, and here it is how much? 8 remaining. So 8 square. So 10 square is 100 and 8 square is 64. In total 164. So under root of 164. So HO is equal to under root of 164, which is approximately how much? 13 meters. So approximately 13 meters. Find the distance between the starting point and ending point means it is how much? Approximately 13 meters. So this is how we are going to find out the shortest distance. Clear? And it need not to be always we need to form a right angle triangle. Okay, sometimes we will be able to identify directly also. Okay, let me explain that situation. Let us say Ravi started from point A, traveled 10 meters towards north, okay, and then took a right turn, so east, traveled 4 meters, and again took a right turn, which is south, traveled exactly 10 meters, okay, again 10 meters to reach point B. Now they are asking, find the distance between the starting point and ending point. A is the starting point, B is the ending point. So we need to identify this distance, which is shortest distance. Okay. Now here we don't need to form a right angle triangle because we are able to say what is this distance exactly. How much it is? 4. So here we no need to find. When you are able to form a straight line, I mean when you will get straight line distance, no need to find. But when you get a slant line, then you need to find out, I mean there you need to apply Pythagoras rule. Okay. So to identify the shortest distance, this will be the approach. Form a right angle triangle and identify the distance. I hope you are clear with this example. Okay. Now we have not yet done with the example. We have 2 more questions, right? Vertical, I mean direction. So far we have done with the distance related questions. Now we are going to discuss direction related questions. Direction of the final position with respect to initial position. It is an initial position and it is a final position. Now among these two, which is a base? The one which will give you second in the statement will be the base. Final position with respect to initial position. So initial position is the base for us. So on a paper, from the base, right hand side is towards east, left hand side is towards west, upwards is north, downwards is south. Now we need to identify this distance, direction. What is this direction? Between north and east, so northeast. So my answer is northeast in this case. The direction in which final position is with respect to initial position is northeast. Fine. So the base point is very, very important. Final point with respect to initial point. So from the initial point, we need to look at the final point. Okay. Now what is another question type? Direction of the initial position with respect to final position. Now what is the base here? Final position. So from the final positions, we need to see initial position direction. With respect to point, right hand side is east on a paper, left hand side is west, downwards is south, upwards is north. So what is this direction now? What is this direction? Between south and west. So what will be my answer? Southwest. So this is how we are going to identify the directions. So you know, right? Now how to identify the distances, how to identify the directions. We have discussed all 8 different questions. Fine. Now let's move ahead. So remaining all the questions will be basing on this. So let's practice some more examples to get the clear idea. Now let's see example 2. A person starts walking towards west. Okay, distance is not given. Okay. Then turns left. Okay. Again distance is not given. Again turns right. And again left. In which direction is he heading now? So in which direction he is moving now? Okay. So let's draw the path. How to draw the path? Let's say it is a starting point of the person. So it is a starting point. So from the starting point, what he did? He walked towards west, though we do not have the distance. So we don't have the distance. Let's say it is a x meters. So he traveled towards west. So let's say he reached the point A. He reached the point A. Then he turns left. So on a paper, what are the directions? East, west, north and south. So while moving towards west, what is the left hand side will be? South direction. So he traveled towards south. So distance is not given. So let's say it is a y meters and reached point B. And again turns right. Now he is at point B. So here, from this point he is traveling towards which direction? Right side. So earlier he is moving towards south. Earlier he is moving towards south to reach point B. So now he is moving towards the right hand side. So what is right hand side will be? Left hand side will be east. Right hand side will be west. So again he is moving towards west. Let's say he traveled z number of meters and reached point C. And again left. Again left. Again left. So he is moving towards west. He is moving towards west. So what is the left hand side will be? South. So again he is moving towards south. So he traveled n number of meters and reached point D. Now tell me which direction he is moving now. He is moving towards which direction it is? Downwards, south. So which direction he is moving towards? South direction. So what will be my answer for this question? South. So he is heading towards south. Initially west and then turn left. While moving west, left hand side is south. West turns left is nothing but south. And again turns right, which is nothing but west. And again turns left, which is nothing but south. So in which direction he is heading now? South. Fine. So your answer is south. So this is how we are going to find out the directions. Fine. Now let's see the next example. And please note down this example. Completed noting? Okay. Move to the next question. Example 3. Naresh walked 4 kilometers towards south. So here the distance is also given. Okay. Naresh walked 4 kilometers towards south. Then took a left turn. Okay. And walked 5 meters. Here again took a left turn and walked 6 kilometers and stopped. Okay. Let's say it is the initial point, starting point where Naresh started. Naresh walked 4 meters towards south. On a paper, east side, right hand side is east, left hand side is west, upwards is north, downwards is south. So south means downwards. From starting point, south, how many meters he traveled? 4 meters. So let's say it is a point A. From this, he took a left turn. While moving towards south, what is the left hand side will be? East. So he traveled towards east. How many meters? 5 meters. 5 meters. Let's say he reached point B. He again took a left turn and walked how many meters? 6 kilometers. 6 kilometers. Now he is actually moving towards which direction here? East. So while moving towards east, what is the left hand side will be? North. So 6 meters north. It is a 4 kilometers. So 6 kilometers line will be longer than this. So 6 kilometers. So it is a final point. Final point. Because it is given stopped. Now what are the questions given below this? In which direction is he now with respect to starting point? Starting point, final point. Now in which direction is he now with respect to starting point? So what is the base here? Starting point. So from this point we need to identify this direction. So with respect to the base, right hand side will be west, left hand side is the east, top direction is north, downwards is south. So what is this direction? Northeast. So what is my answer for this question? Northeast. Fine. Now what is another question given below this? In which direction is the starting point with respect to the present position? Present position is nothing but this point. So from this point they are asking for starting point direction. So it is a starting point direction. So on a paper, right hand side will be east, left hand side is west, downwards is south. So this direction is between south and west. So what is my answer? Southwest. Okay, let me give the clear picture. A, B, and it is 6 meters, it is 5 meters of final point, and here it is starting point. How many meters? 4 meters. Okay. So in the earlier case, starting point, in which direction is with respect to starting point means this direction it becomes north, east, this direction it becomes south or west. Fine. Okay. Now move to the next example. Now here we have the options also. Okay. Let's see why they have given the options. Again, A is to the east of B, B is to the northeast of C, D is to the east of C. In which direction is A with respect to D? So let's draw the path. A is to the east of B. On a paper, east, west, north, south. A is east of B means A place will be based on whose place? B. So let us take the B here first. So B. Now A is east of whom? B. So with respect to B, what is the east? Right hand side. So here will be whom? A. So A is east of B. Distance is not given. And what else is given? B is northeast of C. So what is the base? B is northeast of C. So first C should be placed with respect to C, northeast. So this is a northeast line from the base, northeast line. So which point is there? Oh, B. So already B is in the arrangement. So let us draw the C. So B is northeast of C. Fine. Next, what is given? D is east of C. Now D is east of C means first whom should be fixed? C. So with respect to C, it is the east side. Who will be there? D will be there. Okay. So C is here. Do you know the distance? It is X meters, it is Y meters, it is Z meters. But the distance is not given in the numericals. So where that D will come? D may be here, D may be here, D may be here, D may be here. So D can be any one of these positions. By placing D in any of these positions, what I can say that D is to the east of C only, right? Yes. Now what is the given question? In which direction is A with respect to D? So which direction is A with respect to D means D is the base point. So from the base point we need to see A. So here is the base point. But do you know where is exactly the base point is? No. So without knowing that, can you answer? No. So what is your answer? Cannot be determined. So my answer may be in this way, northeast. In this way, northeast is okay. But in this case, it is north towards. In this case, it is northwest. So which should I take? North, northeast, northwest. So can I say conformly? No. So what is my answer? Cannot be determined. So length also plays the important role when you are identifying the directions. Fine. Now if the same question A is here and the same B is here and C is here, and let's say instead of east, west, D is the west of C, D is to the west of C. Now if they ask the question, there will be only one answer, though the distances are not given. It may be X, it may be a Y, it may be Z. In any case, definitely A will be northeast of C, so automatically A will be northeast of D. Here the distances are not required, but in this case it is must. Okay. Now move to the question number 5. Example number 5. Now, a person travels a distance of 8 kilometers towards east from his home. So let us start from the home. Okay, home. From the home, he traveled 8 kilometers towards east. East will be towards right side. So 8 kilometers. Let's say it is a point A. Then travels 9 kilometers towards north. So from the point A, north means towards up. How many meters? 9 meters. 9 kilometers towards north. Then a distance of 10 kilometers towards east. Now from this point, let's say it is a point B, travel towards east. East will be right hand side. How many meters? 10 meters. Finally 11 kilometers towards north. Let's say it is a point C. So from point C travel towards north. And for how many kilometers? 11 kilometers. So the 11 kilometers line will be like this. 11 kilometers. Let's say it is a final point. Final point. Okay. So home and final point. Now what is the question given? What is the vertical distance traveled by him? What is the vertical distance traveled by him? What are the vertical directions? What are the vertical directions? North and south. Are they asking for net difference? No. What is the vertical distance traveled by him means I need to take the total distance traveled in north and total distance traveled in south. So n plus s. How much he traveled in the north? 9 and 11. So totally 20 in the north. How much he traveled in the south? 0. So what is the total vertical distance traveled by him? 20 kilometers. So what will be my answer? 20 kilometers. So here they are asking what is the total vertical distance traveled by him? Sum of north distances plus sum of north distance and south distance. So 20 meters. Fine. Now move to question number 6. Example. A person starts from his house. Again house. So let us take. So no need to read the entire information. Directly you can take the base and you can start drawing the path. A person starts from his house and travels 8 meters towards west. On a paper, west will be left hand side. So 10 meters towards west. Let's say it is the point A. Then he travels 4 meters to his left. Left will be towards down. Left will be towards down. Okay. So let me erase this. I will start from here. House. From house, 10 meters towards west. Okay. Let's say it is a point A, 10 meters. And then left. While moving west, left hand side will be towards south. How many meters he traveled? 4 meters. Let's say it is a point B. Again from B, he traveled 10 meters towards west. So west will be left hand side. So 10 meters. What is the point? Let's say C. Point C. And 4 meters towards north. So from this 4 meters towards north means this is the one. 4 meters towards north. Let us say point D. Now D and R on the same line. Okay. CD distance is how much? 4 meters. And AB distance is how much? 4 meters. That's why A and D are on the same line. Okay. What is given in continuation? What is given in continuation to that? Finally, he turns left and traveled 4 meters. He is moving towards which direction? North. He is moving towards north. So what is the left hand side will be? West. How many meters he traveled? 5 meters. So let's say it is a point C. It is a point C. Now what is the given question? What is the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point? What is the horizontal distance between starting point and ending point? Okay. So here what they are asking for? Net difference. What are the horizontal directions? East and west. So east and west. Net difference they are asking for. Okay. Now how much he traveled initially in the west? 10. And again in the west? 10. Just consider the horizontal lines. And again 10. So totally how much he traveled in the west? 15. How much he traveled in the east? Now in this path, the distance traveled towards east is 0. So what is the net difference is? 15 meters. So what is my answer to this question? 15 meters. So if they ask total horizontal distance traveled by him, east plus west. Horizontal distance between starting point and ending point means definitely we need to take the shortest horizontal distance. And we need to take the shortest vertical distance. So the net difference is 15. Because east is 0. So west is 15. Fine? Okay. Now move question number 7. Now, Charan traveled 4 meters towards east. So let's say this is the one point, starting point from where Charan started. Charan traveled 4 meters towards east. On a paper, right hand side is east. So 4 meters. then turns right while moving towards east. Let's say it is a point B. While moving towards east, what is the right hand side will be? What is the right hand side will be? South. How much distance he traveled? 3 meters. So 3 meters. Now what is the distance between the initial point, final points of channel? So it is the final point. So we need to identify the distance between these two. What is the distance between the initial and final positions of Charan? So they are asking us to find the shortest distance. So shortest distance we need to find. So can I find directly this distance is, can I say directly how much it is? No. So we need to form a right angle triangle. Yes, it is in the form of right angle triangle. Right. Now we need to identify, let's say it is a point A and it is point C. I need to identify AC distance. So AC is equal to, apply the Pythagoras theorem, AB square plus BC square under root of. Now what is the AB distance? 3. So 3 square plus, what is the BC distance? 4. So 4 square. So 3 square plus 4 square, 9 plus 16 is 25. What is the exactly distance? 5. What is the AC distance? 5. So what is the distance between the initial and final positions of Charan? 5 meters. Means they are asking the distance between these 2 points, not this entire distance. What is your answer? 5 meters. So distance between these 2 points is 5 meters, which is nothing but shortest distance. Okay. So answer is 5 meters. Okay. Now move to question number 8. Example number 8. Mamta traveled 4 kilometers towards north. Then she turned right. Okay. Let's say it is a starting point. Mamta traveled 4 kilometers towards north. North is upwards. How many kilometers? 4 kilometers. After traveling 4 kilometers, she turned right. Let's say it is a point A. Turned right is nothing but east. Traveled how many meters? 6 meters. Okay. 6 meters. Let's say it is point B. She reached point B. She turned left. Now, while moving towards east, what is the left hand side? This one. So, left hand side will be north. 1 meter. Let's say it is a point C. Finally, she traveled 6 kilometers towards east. So, from this point, east is right hand side. 6 meters towards east. Let's say it is a point D. Now, what is the given question? How far is she now from her starting point? So, from the starting point, she is how much, what is the question? How far is she now from the starting point? So, the distance between these 2 points they are asking for. The distance between these 2 points. Okay. So, let's say it is a point X. So, we need to identify the XD distance. How to identify it? Can you say directly how much distance it is? No. So, we need to form a right angle triangle. So, let us form a right angle triangle. Let us form a right angle triangle. Right. Now, let's say it is a point Y. So, which distance I need to identify? Dx. So, dx is equal to dy square plus xy square. Now, what is dy? This is dy. So, dy distance, dy is equal to cb distance plus ax distance. cb plus ax. cb plus ax will be equal to dy. So, how much it is? 4 plus 1, 5. So 4 and 1, 5. So 5 square plus under root of it is, because we need to apply the Pythagoras, dx equal to under root of 3 square. And we need to identify the xy distance. This xy distance, xy is equal to AB plus CD distance. So 6 plus 6, how much it is? 12. So 12 square. So 3 square is 9 and 12 square is 4 plus 1, 5, right? So 5 square is 25, 12 square is 144. So under root of 169. So dx is equal to how much? Exactly 13. So what is this distance? 13. And what is this? 14. And this is 5. So 12, it is 12 and it is 5. So this is how we are going to find out the shortest distance. How far is she now from the starting point is nothing but they are asking from the direct distance between starting point and ending point, which is nothing but shortest distance. So how to find out the shortest distance? Is this clear? Fine. So please note down this. We'll move to the next example. So far we have done with the questions which are related to the directions and the distance related questions. Now let's see a new kind of questions. Example number 9. One morning, Ravi and Raju were talking, facing each other. It is observed that Ravi's shadow fell to his left. So this kind of question comes under the category of shadow based questions. Okay, now we'll go to the question later. Now let us understand the basic concept behind these shadow type questions. Okay, so there are generally two situations will be given. One is morning and one more is evening. So let us discuss the two possible situations. Morning. If it is morning, sun will be towards east. So the shadow will be opposite to that. Since the sun will move from east to west. So shadow will be east, sorry, sun will be east, shadow will be west when it is a morning. So sun and shadow. Now what is the one more situation? Evening. If it is a evening, sun will be in the west and shadow will be in the east. Shadow will be in the east. Opposite directions. Sun and shadow always will be in opposite directions. Shadow and sun. By knowing this concept, you can answer this kind of questions. If it is a morning, sun will be in the east, shadow will be in the west. If it is the evening, sun will be in the west, shadow will be in the east. Now let us come to this question. One morning, Ravi and Raju were talking facing each other. Okay. It is observed that Ravi's shadow fell to his left. Okay. Ravi's shadow fell to his left. Then which direction was Raju facing? So this is the most important clue. So this kind of information is given. Like one person's shadow is falling to his left or other person's left, his right or other person's right. So basing on that, we need to fix the directions and we need to identify the direction of either Ravi or someone else. Okay. So this type of questions can be answered in two ways. Okay. Let me explain the two ways and after that you may approach or you may take one of the way to solve the questions. One is I am taking in the vertical way. And the one more is horizontal way. Because if I solve in the vertical way, you may ask the doubt, sir, why can't we take horizontally? By taking in any way, the answer will be same. Either you may solve in this way or this way. Any question. Now what is given? They are talking facing each other. Okay. So here is Ravi and here is Raju. Again, you may take anyone anywhere. There is no issue in that. Ravi, Raju. You may interchange the positions of those persons also. There won't be any change in the answer. Because based on the Ravi's position and his shadow position, we are going to decide the directions. We are not deciding the directions here. We are placing the persons first, then we are deciding the direction based on the shadow. Okay, so what is given? It is observed that Ravi's shadow fell to his left. Ravi's shadow fell to his left only. So Ravi is facing towards this way. Right. So this side will be the left side. And this will be the right side. So this side will be shadow. Have you understood the point? So left side is given, right? So left side is shadow. It is observed that Ravi's shadow fell to his left only. So this is the left hand side. It is shadow. And shadow opposite is sun. Now come to this case. Ravi is here. It is the left hand side and it is the right hand side. So left hand side is given shadow. It is Ravi's left hand side. So shadow. So right hand side will be sun because shadow and sun will be in opposite directions. Right. Now here the important thing is whether the situation given morning or evening. Is it morning or evening? Morning. So morning, sun will be in the east. So this is the east direction. So this is the east. Now we are deciding the directions. It is the east direction. So east opposite is west. East opposite is west. So it is which direction? West. Right. Now on a paper, east, west are in opposite and north, south are opposite. So west clockwise 90 degrees will be which direction? North. So west clockwise 90 degrees will be this one. This one will be north. So north opposite is south. Okay. So we are able to decide the directions, all four directions. Now here west, east. West 90 degrees clockwise, north. It is north direction. And now it is south direction. Fine. Now, what is the given question? In which direction is Raju facing? Now, in this case, Raju is here and facing towards this direction. What is this direction? South. Now, come to this question. This case, where is Raju? Here is the Raju. Facing towards this direction. What is this direction? Facing towards south. So, in any case, Is there any change in my answer? No. So what is my answer? So choice 2. Okay. So by taking in any way, horizontally or vertically, by taking any person anywhere, you can answer the given questions. Okay. Only the important thing is, if it is a morning, sun will be in the east, shadow will be the west. If it is the evening, sun will be in the west, shadow will be in the east. So place the write the persons first, and basing on the shadow, decide the directions. Fine. So this is about shadow model question. I hope it is clear. So please note down this. Fine. Okay. Example number 10. This kind of questions comes under clock based questions. Okay. What is given? A clock is placed in such a way that at 6 o'clock the hour hand point towards southwest. Now in which direction does the hour hand point at 9 p.m.? It is a question. Now how these kind of questions will be answered? Very simple. Okay. So first you must aware of the basic concept, how the clock look like. So in a clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, like this numbers will be there. In a clock, on clock there will be some numbers, right? 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 12, 3, 6, 9. Okay, in virginal clock. Okay. Now what are these virginal directions? It is north, east, from a base point, right hand side is east, left hand side is west, upwards is north, downwards is south. So north and east, northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. Now what is the given? A clock is placed in such a way that, how the clock is placed? At 6 o'clock the hour hand points towards southwest. 6 o'clock means hour hand will be at 6, minute hand will be at 12, minute hand will be at 12. What is given? At 6 o'clock the hour hand points towards which direction? South. In general, at 6 o'clock the hour hand will be pointing towards south, but what is given here? Southwest. So we need to change the direction. It means we need to change the position of the clock, right? Now let us change the position of the clock. Now there won't be any change in this 12, 3, 6, 9, it will remain same, right? Now we need to change. What is given? Hour hand at 6 o'clock, hour hand means this point is pointing towards which direction? Southwest. Now change the directions. So at 6 it is of what? Southwest. Now basing on this, decide the remaining direction. So southwest, west, northwest, southwest, west, northwest, north, northeast, east, southeast, southeast, south, and southwest. You know, right? Just we have rotated the clock. Okay, done. Now what is the given question? In which direction does the hour hand point at 9 p.m.? When it is 9 p.m., hour hand is pointing towards 9, minute hand will be towards 12. Now what is the given question? In which direction does the hour hand point at 9 p.m.? In general, it is what? West. But as per this change direction, it is towards which direction? North, west. So what will be my answer? Northwest. So my answer is northwest. Right? So this is how the clock based questions will be answered. Fine? Okay. So practice more number of questions, then you will gain more confidence. Okay. Only by simply listening, we cannot answer the direction questions. We need to practice. Once you practice, you will get the confidence. Okay. So please keep practicing. If you get any doubts, please get back to us. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining the class. Have a nice day.